Hey, what's up, everybody? Monkey Puzzle here, and I wanted to make a video today that's a little different than my usual. I wanted to make a video about an upcoming game and talk about it a little bit. The game is called Nightingale, and you may have heard of it already. I had the privilege of being invited to a focus group of creators by Inflexion Games, and we've been getting some behind-the-scenes information, which were a lot of it we've been under NDA about. But we've also had the opportunity to give a lot of feedback to the developers about what we're looking for in this type of game. So I think that's really cool. And I'm honestly really excited about this game. The Summer Game Fest happened today, and they released what I think was the second public trailer for the game. So you guys may have seen that already. And I probably don't know that much more about it than you guys do at this point. But I still wanted to take a moment and look at this trailer with you and talk about some of what could be the potential of this game and see what we think about it. So let's take a look at that trailer and jump right into that. So let's just do this right on my desktop. And fair warning, I'm going to be stopping and starting this as we go along. But let's just look at it like this real quick.
You're alone in the realms, I'm afraid. The portals are a mess. Not even sure if Nightingale made it.
Okay, so some information straight off the bat there. Already, they didn't announce it as much in this one, but it's basically set in the Victorian gaslamp era, juxtaposed with fey eldritch creatures and world. So there was a portal network that was coming from the hub city, which is Nightingale. But now that portal network is broken, and one of our big goals is getting back to Nightingale. So basic crafting scene right there. You got berries, you got rocks, you got trees. Honestly, I thought that was one of the weaker parts of the trailer. I mean, I don't mind that kind of crafting, but this is pre-alpha footage, so hopefully there's going to be a little bit more animation put to the reaction of the resources when you're hitting them. Let's look at that again. And also, hopefully they'll look a little bit better in the world. They look a little 2D.
Nightingale made it.
Not terrible, but hopefully they'll work on that bit a little bit. But yeah, basic resource gathering.
Given how fragile you humans are, I'd say that staying fed, dry, and rested should be your priority.
So yeah, you're going to have to fulfill basic needs. I don't know if that's exactly defining them there, but he said fed, dry, and rested. So definitely you're going to need to eat. They might need to worry about being wet, apparently, and you're going to need to sleep. And maybe there'll be other things in there, but we'll see. And already some of this is cinematic footage, obviously, but some of it is stuff that's in the game. You've seen various components like bedroll, camp, fire pit, and so on. Okay, so here you can see some of that same. There's a makeshift crew tent here. There's a fire pit here, but it's not a campfire anymore. It's actually like a fire pit. And then these are two placed crafting stations right here. And then this is a portal. And he's going to be talking about what you do in this crafting station right here.
Portal Arch is inactive. You'll need to make realm cards from rare resources.
Making realm cards from rare resources. And there's some things here. I don't know what these are yet, but he's definitely doing it in this crafting station. And there's a recipe book. He's making a desert card at the moment.
Once you have realm cards, you can activate the portal.
So not only can you activate the portal with the realm cards you make, but here's the really cool part that I think is really compelling. Is you see he's got a deck here he's building and placing cards in. Now you can place cards in various combinations. They haven't told us yet the rules are of like what cards you can put. I assume you need a certain kinds of each type of card to put in here. And we also don't know how many cards you can put in. But this influences the world. It basically defines the world that you're going to go to, because the world is then procedurally generated based on what you put in here. So the potential for that is really cool. It really depends on how good the procedural generation is and how much creativity, how much real flexibility there is for the worlds that you create. But to be able to create your own maps based on your own parameters is a really potentially powerful idea for a game like this.
Beware though. Foul things lurk in the interrealmic void.
There's a lot of variety in the creatures, and they're all really creative. Not just your basic goblins and skeletons and stuff, but a lot of cool stuff. And I don't know how good that axe pick is going to be against some of them, but you got a crude crossbow, you have a shotgun. You can see some basic building behind there too. Back to the idea of the realm cards. You got a spitter and some more like kind of dinosaur looking creatures there. And then this behemoth walking around what I don't know if is this a pre-gen POI or this is something that you've actually built. I think this is something you've actually built because we've seen later in some other footage, we'll see some other stuff similar to this. So yeah, influencing your destination. In fact, kind of defining your destination. Lots of stuff to shoot, and you build a life in the Feywilds. Now, it was not made clear to us. We actually asked the question, and they kind of kept the cards close to their chest, whether are you just in a hub world, and then you go and adventure and explore and get resources in these different worlds that you go through to the portals, or each of them like a complete freestanding map that you can then completely live on. That latter excites me the most, and I hope that's the case, but it could be cool even if it's not. So you can see an evolution of the building here and the settling, and there's a lot of cool stuff going on in there. Let's go back again. So, okay, go back again. I'm sorry, I don't have the best control this way, but it's the easiest for me to do it right now. You're building a life in the Feywilds. So right here, they're starting to build some stuff. Check it out. You'll see this a bunch of times, is there's actually an animation for when you're carrying resources. So anytime someone's carrying stuff, you'll see them carrying this bundle like this. And I don't know if it's generic for any kind of resources or if that's just how you carry wood or so on. We'll see. We got some sort of steam machine here. We got some basic buildings starting to go. And also notice as we go along, there's different ways they carry their gun. This is more of like an at-ready stance, but there's also one where they have it over their shoulder. So it seems like there's a lot of attention of detail put into animating the characters to reflect their inventories and what they're doing. Okay, so here we start with a basic camp, the campfire. Not much back here. There's this thing here, but that probably was generated with the map. Okay, and then we start with a basic stone shelter with crafting stations and stuff, your basic bed and storage and whatever these are. Pretty sure they were not also clear with us whether there was prefab blueprints that you could put down that you fill in with resources, or if you actually get granular building. But the more I look at this, the more I'm convinced that you're going to get granular piece by piece building, because that does not look like a prefab. That looks like something that someone is just using real quickly to create some sort of shelter. That's something the player would throw together real quick. These are definitely placed custom. And then you see it expands. More crafting stations and chairs and stuff. He's actually interacting with the chair. A+ to that. I know a lot of games where there's chairs and you don't even get to sit in them. It's got a spyglass. I'm not going to try to figure out what all these things are. But then, yeah, see, still building more in stone. There's a covering on the windows now. We got some crenulations up here. You can see there's stairs there and there going up. And then it gets even more advanced. We have some more buildings going on here. This is more of a kind of medieval wattle and daub style here. This is some kind of plastered building or something like that. But we at least have like three different building types here. And then check this out. We got an airship up here, some sort of dirigible, which is really cool. We got a windmill developing back here, and then kind of intimations of a whole little town going on. A little walkway bridge going across, dock, chairs, lamp post. I'm just getting into detail on this because this is really what makes or break a game for me, is if you get this kind of granular, robust building system, and it looks like it might really have it. So let's keep going.
If these shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended.
That last creature there was really awesome. So really neat. A lot of stuff going on here. So let's look at a few other things real quick, and then we'll be done with this. So from the first trailer, let's take another look at the building. Now this clip was way too fast, so let's slow it down. You can see that they're carrying the wood bundles. The animation of the tree is actually a lot better than the example in the second one. And in this, you can see that the building must be granular because it really looks like they're building it piece by piece, floor by floor, and that there must be a great deal of player control in the building. So that part looks really exciting. Now here's just another shot of the crafting, what it could look like. And then a shot of the various character models and their various costumes that they could have. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more than that. And then a couple other things that I could mention are that, at least for early access, it's going to be in co-op mode. And there isn't any confirmation on whether there's going to be dedicated servers or not. The co-op mode is going to be anywhere from 6 to 10 players. It's not confirmed whether the worlds are going to be persistent for everybody who joins everybody else's world. That's all yet to be revealed. And finally, this is not set in stone at all, but they're trying to release it in various stages over this year in 2022. So the plan, which again could change, is this summer it's going to be in closed beta, and I'll actually get to play it, but I won't be able to tell you much because I'll be under NDA. In the fall, it's going to be an open beta, and then we'll all get to see it. And then in the winter, it will be in early access release. So that's really exciting. Well, that's it, folks. We'll have to see how it turns out, but clearly there is a lot of potential here. One of the most exciting things, I think, is the ability to create the different worlds. It's like an open world survival game that releases not with just one map, but potentially infinite maps all at once that you can create to your liking, which can add hundreds of hours of playability to it. And also, you know me, a good building system can also add hundreds of hours of playability to the game. We'll have to see how it turns out. I will let you know as much as I can let you know, and as much as I know when they let me let you know. So anyway, we're all looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll have our hands on it really soon, and we'll be able to decide for ourselves. Until then, thank you for watching to the end of this video. I hope it was useful to you, and I will see you in the next one.